Hello and welcome to the Beautiful Budget channel. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down how budgeting can be used to help you become a multi-millionaire without sacrificing the things that you love and without just sheer deprivation along the way. This topic is really special because it embodies a lot of what Beautiful Budget stands for, building wealth while leading a life that is fulfilling to you. I just have never been one to believe that sacrifice was a key element to financial success. So if you're excited to get going here, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, hit subscribe while you're at it. It really helps to support my channel. And I'm happy to let you know that your girl is going to be on YouTube a lot more often in the weeks and months to come. I have decided to primarily focus my content here. Now, you might have expected to see, when you clicked on this video, some really intense spreadsheet template or these crazy charts or some formula. I'm not here to do that with you today. I will show you in a moment an overhead view of the budget template that I have been using that has made all the difference. We have followed it religiously over the last few years, and it now has us on the path to retiring early as multimillionaires. So I am pumped to kind of share that framework with you and talk you through it. But before we do that, do you ever stop and ask yourself, what would make you so extremely happy? I know a few things for me, just off the cuff here. For my kids to sleep through the night, the Lord's chicken to be available on Sundays, and for people to stop bashing budgeting, to stop sleeping on it, to stop feeling above it. Why would I budget? I'm not broke. Budgeting is for peasants. I mean, that sentiment, those stigmas, they've always been there for budgeting. I get it. Budgeting gets a bad rap, but it is the most underrated, underrespected habit of the wealthy. If you go and you interview 10 millionaires, I guarantee you each and every one of them has a good understanding, probably surface level at this point if they're already millionaires, but has a good understanding of what comes in and what goes out in terms of their money. They have a good grasp of how their money moves and how they can direct dollars that they earn to generate more dollars. And this is through investing. So they create roadmaps for their money, and this is where that budget comes in. They're creating a roadmap for their money that maximizes investing. That's what it all comes down to. That table of wealth, a budget represents the legs that it stands on. So we really shouldn't go about thinking that budgeting is below us or that it is, a waste of time. Budgeting is going to give you time back. If you budget with investing in mind, you budget to maximize the dollars going to future you, you will see long-term financial success. And you won't have to work until you're 75. You won't have to scrape by during retirement. You won't have to see your kids take out tens of thousands of dollars for college if that's not something that you want them to do. Budgeting, when done right, is that golden ticket to financial independence. So it's great to talk about it. What does it look like when you actually implement it? Let's jump now to an overhead view. I'm going to show you the 8-part budget. All right, so like I mentioned before, this is our budget template that we follow. I'll be sure to link this workbook in the description. This is the Beautiful Budget Workbook, Watercolor Floral Edition. And I've just got it open here now to one of the 2-page spreads, budget worksheets, the 8-part budget. And so I'll just kind of name off and let you know what these different sections are, and they are designed to be followed in order. So we direct our money out in this order every single time that we're paid. We have our fixed and variable expenses, so all of our bills, and then variable spending like food, gas, things like that, that all goes in the first section. Then we build our emergency fund. We pay off extra debt. We're not currently doing that now because we only have low interest debt left, but I keep that there because in the event that we pick up high interest debt, we would be devoting funds here to pay it off faster. Investing, saving, giving/investing for our children, donating, those sorts of things go in block 6. And then block 7 and block 8, those are really kind of the fun money sections, the areas where we devote funds to the things that we love, things like travel, date nights, going to the zoo or the aquarium with our kids on the weekends. Here in this last section actually is where we split money 50-50 between my husband and me. So that's just kind of a very broad brush description of how the 8-part budget works. But really what it all boils down to when we are reaching for those big goals of millionaire status or multimillionaire status, we have to maximize what goes into this fourth block, what gets invested. That's the big picture. The big picture isn't, hey, we're 100% debt free. Great. What about 10 years from now, 20 years from now? Now, don't get me wrong, debt freedom is a beautiful thing. And for many of us, it takes a long time to get there. I fully respect paying off debt ahead of schedule and just knocking out all of those liabilities. That is a huge accomplishment, but it's not the only accomplishment. That is not going to pay you in retirement. That is not going to give you thousands of dollars a month and have those retirement years be very comfortable and look like how you want them to look. Traveling or, living on the golf course or, funding your kids' first professional venture, business venture. I mean, so many different things. It's a dream that looks different for all of us. Maximizing investing. That's what this is all about. So the idea is that, that your needs are met, that you're prepared for emergencies, that you're not sitting in high interest debt, namely credit cards, right? Because if you're going to have credit card debt and invest, you're hustling backwards. All right. So we gotta slash high interest debt before we look at investing. But that is the first thing. Once you kind of walk through those gates of, all right, my needs are met, my emergency fund is good, or it's growing to where it's going to be good soon, none of my debt is high interest, we step into investing. And the idea is that you're balancing giving this section as much as you can while still living a life that makes you happy, right? You're still putting your kids in summer camp, right? You're still doing that kitchen renovation. You're doing those things that either are a priority to you or, that you value that really make you happy. You're balancing aggressive investing with some of these other things that you enjoy. Now, of course, the natural question comes up of, well, what if I don't have enough money to be really aggressive in this section? Well, then that is your cue. That's another reason why budgeting is so transformational. How will you know just what you have to put here until you write it down? Until you actually fill in the sections, do you really know how much discretionary income you have to put towards investing, saving, and doing the things that you love? Every client I've ever worked with, we sit down and I tell them what their discretionary income number is, and they're just shocked. They're like, no, there's no way. There's no way, you got to show me. And I pull up their budget and I show them, look, you're solid. And you definitely have space to invest here while still balancing with the latter half of the 8-part budget. So I kind of designed this in response to, I found a lot of templates out there that didn't have investing in them, or they really focused on doing one thing at a time, right? Let's pay off debt and then let's save and then let's invest. And I like lists. I like multitasking where it makes sense. And so I wanted my financial management to mirror that. But what you can do, there are a lot of investment calculators online, retirement calculators that you can use to make projections. Let's say you realize that you have $1,000 a month that you can comfortably invest while still balancing kind of some of these other areas of your finances. You can punch that in and say $1,000 a month. Maybe you're starting at zero. Maybe you've got a little bit to start with, but whatever the case is, putting your starting balance, saying you're going to invest $1,000 every single month, for the foreseeable future, and that you plan to retire in maybe 25 years. There are very basic, simple calculators. I'll put some of my favorites down in the description below, but they will help you see what that can grow to. And that growth, especially over longer time horizons, starts to get really exciting because of compound interest. You're earning interest on that money that you invest, and then guess what? That interest earns interest, right? It compounds on each other. That's why you see explosive growth on those graphs. As you approach 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 years, you're talking some incredible compound interest going on that allows you to reach millionaire, multimillionaire status, even if what you're putting here doesn't seem like a whole lot, right? Maybe it's $500, but then you know that your kids are gonna, come out of daycare in a couple of years and you'll be able to increase it to $1,200 or $1,800. No matter what it is, even if it's $50 right now, getting in the habit of saying, this is the block of the budget. That's what really, really matters when we're talking about long-term success. Once you start getting into that mindset, and then, you have your annual raises, or you maybe change industries and get a significant pay increase, training yourself to focus here and to maximize the dollars going here. If you're like me, you're going to get kind of hooked on going to those calculators and just seeing different things play out, different predicaments, right? Okay, well, if I invest $1,000 for 25 years, but then when my kid's out of daycare, that's another $800 a month. What if I do that for, 15 years? And so you're doing these number projections, and it's going to give you a good idea of what you're going to reach. Then you can turn around and go into a retirement calculator and see just how far that 1.5 million or 3 million, what that can give you over a 20-year period in retirement. Don't forget about your 401k too. Like, your 401k money comes out before you even get paid. So when you're listing your paycheck here and you're contributing to your 401k, what I like to do is actually manually add that back in. If I'm putting $500 in my 401k, I will actually manually put it here so that I can see it here, right? So I'll increase my paycheck by 500 so I can put 401k 500 in this block. Don't forget about those dollars too. But this is all going to come down to investing as much as possible while still leading a life that makes you happy. If you deprive yourself and you only live in these 4 sections for the foreseeable future, you will experience burnout and you will start to resent budgeting and you're less likely to follow it. So really strive for balance. But this is the 8-part budget. This is our kind of money management framework, helps me keep everything organized. In future videos, you'll see kind of budget with me. You'll see build my beautiful budget, where I actually build other people's budgets inside of the framework. And it's just something that I really think helps us see the big picture. So if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to hit that like button, hit subscribe, and tap that bell so that you don't miss a beat when future videos get dropped. If you've got questions, be sure to leave them in the comments below. I'd love to connect with you and talk all things budgeting. I could do it all day. I hope you found this video helpful, and I will see you next time.